So this is numero dos of Joy It Again, Fuji from Celestial Pulse. If you want to check out part 1, it's in the link below before you watch this one. So keep watching. So what I like to do first is reduce my sketch folder to 14% and then make a new folder called line work or final lines or whatever you want, and I began to create my lines for my character. I work on different layers because when it comes down to like proportion size or just getting down the way I want my character to look perfectly, having different layers does help with moving things around. Then what I like to do in the end, after I'm finished, I merge it all. So I'm working on the clothing and I'm just adding like more wrinkles because it gives the character more depth and it makes her more human-like, I think. So it was like a trial and error when it came to drawing the lines, because I was like, I don't know where I want to put some of these lines, and when I finally got them down to where I wanted them, they looked really good. I wasn't afraid to add more wrinkles or anything like that because realistically, when we wear like not skin tight clothing and sometimes it's baggy, it tends to wrinkle up like a blanket. You can see that I'm making the legs on a different layer because I wasn't too sure about her placement still. And that's the good thing about different layers. If you don't know the placement of where you want the foot, you can always change it. And that's what I'm doing right now. I found out that her foot placement is very weird. It's just angled weird. And even though I'm like fixing it little by little, it's still not perfect. So what I did was I erased it and I just continue on to the next side of the image and worked on her bottom piece of her outfit, and then I just did a light sketch of the foot, and then I did the render part and it looked 100 times better. Her leg didn't look like it was not connected to that foot. And the same thing with the next leg. I had to work on where her wrinkles will be at in her foot and like the bottom of the foot, because you would see the bottom of the foot if you were looking towards where we were looking at. I wasn't too sure about the ribbons that belong on her foot. So what I did was I just did quick little slashes and then added wrinkles, and it actually did look really good. So I kept up with it, and I was happy with the way it came out looking. After I was done, I moved my character a little bit and erased the parts that I didn't need. Then I merged it and I started with her hair. Now, her hair is just flowing all over the place. So all I'm doing is I'm just making little lines and trying to mimic how flowing straight hair will be. It wasn't that bad. Like, I thought I was gonna mess up horribly, but I did add like little strands and stuff, and it made the image, come out looking good. After that, I just started erasing the parts that I didn't need and merged it. I don't like seeing my character with their eyebrows on top of their hair, so I erased those parts. And for her tattoos, I went ahead and I put them on a different layer, and then I just lowered the opacity. Now for her clothing, like the logo part, what I did was I drew the logo and then I just mimicked what it might look like inside the wrinkles. So I'm just playing with what it would look like if it were in the wrinkles. So I will move it up a little bit or inside, or just make it nice and wavy. And then I'm adding little bits of grass because if you're in a long place, you will have, grass. And that's it for what we have today. Next, we will have part 3, which is coloring and adding the background. It might be a little bit longer, but bear with me. Sorry for not having a video up for last week. There was a lot going on, but this week I'm going to put up 2 videos, so stay tuned.